So with Godzilla vs. Kong coming out tomorrow, let's wrap up this review series and talk about Godzilla King of the Monsters today. So going into Godzilla King of the Monsters, this was actually the first time I was rewatching the movie since seeing it in the cinema. And if I'm honest, I really wasn't excited for this rewatch. Going into the first two here, Kong Skull Island and Godzilla, I was really excited for those rewatches. I really enjoy those movies. I think they're a lot of fun. But going into Godzilla King of the Monsters, I felt like it was more of a chore to go into this movie. Where these movies, I actually watched them back to back because I really enjoyed them. But that was like a week ago. I only watched this the other day, and I kind of said, okay, you know what? You gotta watch this one before Godzilla King of the Monsters or Godzilla vs Kong. You just gotta get it out of the way. So I really felt like it was a chore. First time I watched it as well, I didn't love it. I thought it was decent. I thought the monster fights were good. I thought there was some amazing shots, which is all stuff I still think. But I actually found it ridiculously boring, which is quite embarrassing to say about a monster movie that I found this boring. Where it's a monster movie where these big, massive monsters are beating the crap out of each other. I found the movie boring. I actually found myself a good bit kind of nodding off. And it's not like I saw this at a 7 o'clock showing. I actually still have my ticket inside the Blu-ray. And saw this at 2 o'clock on like a Saturday. So like there's no reason for me to be nodding off. It was clearly out of boredom. And one of the reasons this movie is ridiculously boring is because it is a human-focused movie. Now, I understand that you do have to have a lot of human stuff in the movies because of Godzilla isn't going to stop and have a conversation, or he's not going to stop and explain his motives. And same with the other monsters, they're not going to stop and explain why they're destroying cities or why they're fighting the other monsters. So you've got to have human characters there to try and kind of explain what's happening, try to come up with situations on how to fix everything, and just trying to have something to kind of help the runtime move on a little bit. But all of the characters were extremely boring. All of the characters were extremely unlikable, and I didn't give a crap about anything any of them were saying. I feel like all of the actors as well didn't really want to be there. I felt like they were all like this movie, the main villain of the movie isn't a big monster. It's a human character who feels like the problem with the Earth is the humans, and we're going to save the Earth by getting rid of the humans. Like, that's just really weird. And it's not like these are bad actors. You got Kyle Chandler, who I've seen in a few bit, like Wolf of Wall Street, Game Night, pretty good guy. And then Viggo Mortensen, I always cannot pronounce her name, but the woman from the Conjuring movie, she's also in it too. But they're not like amazing in it. They're not really stand out. If it wasn't for their actors in it, I probably wouldn't remember their characters because I don't remember their names. I remember that they're husband and wife and that she's a scientist. I actually can't remember, is he a scientist? I really cannot remember. As well, you do have Millie Bobby Brown, who plays their daughter in this movie, and I am 100% certain the only reason she was hired and the only reason she's in this movie at all is because she's Millie Bobby Brown, and that's a good way of getting teenagers in to see this movie because everyone loves Stranger Things. If you see the main character Stranger Things in the new Godzilla movie, a lot of people are going to go see the new Godzilla movie just to see Millie Bobby Brown. And I have no problem with Millie Bobby Brown. Besides this, I've only actually ever seen her in Stranger Things. I never watched Enola Holmes last year. But I feel like her character really has no purpose whatsoever. As I said, she is 100% there just because she is Millie Bobby Brown. I feel like if they just took her character out and adjusted it slightly, there's no real purpose to her character. She doesn't do anything to help move the plot along. She just kind of does stuff to make the plot last longer. She doesn't really do anything that adds to the movie. She's also going to be in Godzilla King of the Monsters, or Godzilla vs Kong. Hopefully she serves a bit more of a purpose there and not just, oh my god, Millie Bobby Brown's here, let's go see this movie. So kind of hope that's what's going to happen there. But on a positive note for this movie, just like with Godzilla and just like with Kong Skull Island, these creatures and these monsters look fantastic. They actually look like real monsters. You get like a kind of close-up of Kong or as Godzilla standing around looking around, you see his eyes moving, and it looks fantastic. Within all three of these movies, there's never been a point where I say that's a special effect, because it all looks absolutely fantastic, all looks really real, and it's amazing what they're able to do now with technology. And the fight scenes as well, one of the complaints with Godzilla is the fact that there isn't a lot of fight scenes. You get the one at the end, but even at that, it's not an amazing fight scene. But this movie, there is Godzilla fight scenes all throughout the movie. You got the one in the middle that actually kind of kills Kong, or kills Godzilla, and then you got the one at the end where he literally ends up swallowing whatever the creature is right there, the three-headed dragon. I think they call it Monster Zero or something like that. You see him, like, all the fight scenes, they're really good. Not like they're not on Kong Skull Island. I think Kong Skull Island is the gold standard for fight scenes within these movies. Hopefully Godzilla versus Kong can defeat that. Hopefully that becomes the best out of them all. But as of right now, Kong Skull Island is still the best fight scenes. But this movie does have a few good ones, just nothing amazing. Nothing really, nothing like, I think, I haven't done it now, but I imagine if I was to watch a fight scene out of these movies, I'd kind of go into YouTube and watch Kong Skull Island, but I've never actually had any ambition to go back and watch any scenes from Godzilla King of the Monsters. This time, as I said at the start of this review, I felt like I just kind of had to do it. I felt like it was a real forced one to go into this. I think this movie as a whole is a bad movie, which is kind of hard to say because I actually really enjoy these two. But the follow-up, I think it's very boring. I think it's the longest out of them all, and you feel it. I had to pause it about 3 times and go off and do something else because I was losing interest. The movie as a whole probably spends about an hour and a half, maybe an hour 20 if I'm being generous, on human stuff, and I don't care. I don't care about these human characters. Why are we spending so much time with human characters? I hope that Godzilla vs. Kong spends more time on the monsters, because honestly, I really don't care about these human characters. And I know I said, if I actually even agree with it, these movies here, I said that their human characters aren't like, they're nothing amazing and jaw dropping, but you don't spend a lot of time with them. Well, you do in Godzilla, but Kong, you don't really spend a lot of time with them. So I think that if they just kind of focused more on the monster stuff in this movie, it would have been a good movie. But the fact that they spend so much time on these human characters really knocks it down a bit. So when it comes down to Godzilla King of the Monsters, am I in any rush to go back and rewatch it? No, I'm not. As I said in my review of Godzilla, I actually kind of went on a gap of 3 years of watching it. So I saw it first when it came out in cinema, hadn't really wanted to watch it again, really didn't like it really the first time I saw it. And then when Kong Skull Island came out, I rewatched it in preparation for that and really loved it. So did the same thing happen to me with this time watching Godzilla King of the Monsters after not watching it for 2 years? No, it did not. Didn't really like it. I think the problems I had before are even more prominent now. I think I felt them a lot more. Maybe just seeing them on the big screen the first time was just different because of the big monsters on the big screen. And now dropping down to a 43-inch TV is just didn't really last as good. The movie as a whole, it's very boring. I have no interest in going back anytime soon. I think I'm not going to go back and watch this movie until we get a Kong 2 or Godzilla 3 or whatever's next after Kong, or Godzilla vs. Kong, whatever's next. I think I'll be rewatching them all in preparation for that, and that'll probably be the next time I watch Godzilla King of the Monsters, where these two, I'll probably watch these two in the next 8 months or so, who knows, but these two will be going in my Blu-ray again player sometime soon. But this one, who knows when that's going to go in there again. But make sure you let me know your thoughts on Godzilla King of the Monsters in the comment section down below. Do you love it? Do you hate it? Let me know all that in the comment section down below. If you want to hear my future thoughts on Godzilla vs. Kong, which I am unbelievably excited to watch that movie, make sure you let me know your thoughts on that movie in the comment section down below if you're really excited just as much as I am. Also, click the subscribe button so you can come back and hear my review and thoughts on that movie when the movie finally drops online on Wednesday, because cinemas aren't open here in Ireland, so I can't see the movie that I've been dying to watch on the big screen for 2 years. I'll watch it on my small TV. But click the subscribe button, and as always, thanks for watching.